Hello everybody and welcome back to more political chatter. I hope you're having a good day so far. In this 2024 election prediction will be between Pete Buttigieg, the Secretary of Transportation, and Donald Trump. Now, Pete Buttigieg he ran for president in 2020. That's where you know him from. He was the mayor of South Bend, Indiana, but he really gained popularity from running for president for the Democratic nomination. But anyway, his opponent in 2024 is Donald Trump. And of course, Trump's the former president who won in 2016 and lost in 2020. So Pete Buttigieg, he is going to be seen as more of a Washington person now. Him being mayor of South Bend, Indiana in 2020 really would have helped him in the Rust Belt and key swing states like Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. But now he's the Secretary of Transportation, and most of all, he's heavily involved with the unpopular Biden administration, and that's going to hurt him so much. So let's get into this election prediction. So essentially, people are going to see him as sort of like a copy of Biden, and they're going to see him as more inflation, really. And I did make Delaware safe just because the president is from there. And really, I don't see him doing that well among progressives. I think that he will turn out young voters. We do have to remember that. He will turn out many young, pretty liberal, young voters who really don't know a whole lot about politics, but do know where they stand when it comes to the political spectrum. So I think that Oregon would be likely. I think that New Jersey, Connecticut, and Maine's first would also be likely. Going to save Trump states: Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, North and South Dakota, Kansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Nebraska's first, Nebraska's third, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, West Virginia, Indiana. I'm sorry, not Indiana. So, Pete Buttigieg is not like super popular there, but of course he's going to have an impact. I would say it's going to go likely Trump, but pretty close to becoming lean. I don't think Pete Buttigieg has much in the state of Alaska. That'll be likely. And then here's the deal. Pete Buttigieg was one of the worst candidates among African Americans during the 2020 primary. You probably remember that. So he does not have the African American vote, and that is what's going to destroy his presidential campaign. That means states like South Carolina are safe. I think that the state of Texas would be safe. Really, especially with the president unpopular and Democrats not being energized to go out and vote. I think that Texas will shift 10 points to the right. He just doesn't have the minority vote. He comes from the state of Indiana, and there were all those Black Lives Matter and cop scandals surrounding him as mayor. So I do think that state of Texas would be safe. I think that the state of Florida will be extremely close to being safe, but ultimately I do think it'll be likely. I think that state of Georgia will be likely, and I think that state of North Carolina will be likely. Pete Buttigieg does not have the African American vote on his side, and that is a major problem. The South will go for Trump. And African Americans in every state, they're not going to turn out for him, and essentially that is going to hurt him so badly. I think that Virginia, saying that it went to Hillary Clinton by a lean margin, I think they would also go to him by a lean margin. New Hampshire, state with not a high minority population, I see that sticking with Pete Buttigieg by a lean margin. But going up to Maine second, where Trump has a major appeal, that'll stay likely, but Pete might be able to carry on to Maine at large by a lean margin. And then going to New Mexico and Colorado, I think that he would be able to turn out young voters in the state of Colorado, young liberal progressive voters in the state of Colorado. I think that there are enough of them who support things like legalizing marijuana and such. That I do think that he would be able to win it by a likely margin. But going down to New Mexico, I do think that this would be a very close state, saying that Latinos, it's not popular among African Americans, but it's not very popular among Latinos either. And I think that it would be pretty close to becoming tilt, but this definitely would be battleground territory in New Mexico. And sure, Trump made the McCain comments, but still without the Latino vote, Pete Buttigieg will not win the state of Arizona. That'll go lean Trump. Along with the state of Nevada, you need the Latino vote to win both of these states, and he will not have much of that. And going to Iowa and Ohio, Trump had major appeal here, and Pete Buttigieg, remember, it's not like he comes from the Rust Belt anymore. It's not like he connects with these people. He's going to be seen as an establishment, a Washington insider, essentially, who's involved with the with the unpopular Biden administration, essentially, and people aren't going to like that very much. So it's not going to help him in the Rust Belt at all. Nebraska second, no new story. That'll be lean Trump. Going over to the state of Minnesota, I think that this would go tilt Buttigieg, make it lean Buttigieg. I just think that there is enough of a Democratic base for him to win. Plus, it's not a state where the minority vote dominates, but they do have a major part. That'll be about the same vote as New Hampshire. And then going to the blue wall. I'm sorry, this was a pretty short video, but, it's a short video. Going to the blue wall, Wisconsin, lean Trump. Michigan, lean Trump, and Pennsylvania, lean Trump. I don't think Buttigieg has anything without the minority vote in these states, and he's not going to be seen as someone who will restore the jobs, who will make America great again, like Trump will seem once again, even after things like January 6th. So this is my final map. Donald Trump wins with 313 electoral votes to Pete Buttigieg's 225. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and I will see you all next time.